What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Summer Gravity, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, I am going to do something live here on the spot with you, and that is figure out what my rate of return or my ROI is on the assets that I currently have. Now, I'm not going to look at this from like all of the assets. I want to specifically look at it if somebody was to come in to play the game buying the cards that I currently own as part of my main deck, and then of course having the SPS in order to do so. Now, here's the thing. I'm just going to be doing. I was just going to do this on my own, and then when I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just flip on record, and I'll just do this live on the spot. So hopefully I don't get anything wrong, and hopefully you guys can follow along with the math. But I'll try to show you my work as I go along for that purpose. So I'm here on Peak Monsters. Shout out to Peak Monsters, and I have my card collection, and I'm specifically filtered to my main deck, which again excludes all like the extras of cards that I have. So this is just the cards that I play with, and I think I've, for the most part, have everything filtered in here that needs to be in here. And you can see we'll use the higher price. The list price is at $660. Now, on top of that, you would also need to own some SPS, and we're going to do, was it 500,000 SPS is roughly where I'm at now. 500,000 SPS multiplied by 0.007, we'll just say 75 to make it easy, right? So 3,750 plus the 660, right, equals roughly $4,400. So just keep that in mind. $4,400 if somebody was to come in and be at the position that I am playing the game right now. Granted, they probably wouldn't have a lot of the soulbound cards that I have, so there would be a little bit of a detriment there, but we're just going to move beyond that because they could earn the Rebellion soulbound cards, and obviously the Conclave Arcana soulbound cards will be out soon. But 4,400 is where we're at. Now, the next thing I want to check is how much am I earning, and I'm just going to estimate this right across a bunch of different metrics here. So the first of which I'm looking at the last season. How many wins did I get, and what was my average SPS earned per win? So I'll let you guys know right now, it's about 5 SPS. So early on in the season, it'll be about 4, and then as I climb from Diamond 2 into hopefully Champion 3, it gets somewhere between 5 and 6. So just again, to make things easy, I'm just going to look at this and say 5 SPS per win. So if we take this and let's clear this out. So we'll say 196 wins, right, times 5 SPS per win equals 980 SPS over the course of an entire season. Now, again, we're just using rough numbers here. There's 2 seasons per month, so I'm going to divide this by roughly 15 to get the daily amount of SPS that I win, which is, again, we'll just say 65 SPS is what I come away with on a daily basis. Now, if you are staking this, let's say someone was to come into my position, right? Not only would you be getting 65 SPS per day from this, but you would also be getting about 75 SPS from your staking rewards, as well as about 10 vouchers. And I'm not going to bother showing you here because you can go and check that on the blockchain. So to add to this, right? So we'd have 75 SPS. And that would be, and now this is where I'm going to switch to dollars, right? So what is it? Yeah, 140 times 0.007. Oh gosh, can I not go back? There's no delete. Oh, there we go. 75. Here we go. Struggling with this online calculator. So I'm making roughly $1.05 on SPS, and then vouchers, I'm getting roughly 10 of them. They're a little bit more than 2 cents right now. I know that they generally don't stay about 2 cents, but again, just to make things easy, we're going to add another 20 cents on here, right? 10 vouchers at roughly 2 cents. So $1.25 is how much I am coming away with on a daily basis from the assets that I own playing the game. Okay. So if you look at this and say $1.25, and we're going to divide this by the, let's go with, and I know I'm not counting the wild season pass, but we're going to get into that in a second. $1.25 divided by the, what is it called? Or you know what? Let's do it this way. $1.25 times 365 days per year. $456, right? Divide that by the 4,400. And currently, I'm making about a 10% return. Now, the wild season pass is eating into that. If I calculate it correctly, right? We have 2 times 26, so it's like 52. No, not 2 times 24. So about $48. So we'll just say like $50 per season or per year in terms of the amount. And even still, if you think about it, the fact that DEC is even lower is going to be significantly lower than that. So that will eat into, can I see the history here? I guess not. So let's just, for my own curiosity's sake now. So what we're doing, $1.25. We'll do $1.25 times 365 minus, we'll just say $48, right? With the EC at peg, and then divide that by the 44.10, I think is what it was to be exact. And now you're looking at 9.2%. So that's an interesting number. I mean, again, this is just the return that I'm getting on SPS being at this value, 0.0075, not even at a penny. So where this starts to get really interesting is if you believe in the future of SPS and you're not planning to sell it right now, I mean, for every penny that SPS goes up, all of a sudden this starts to do some multiples, right? And I know the math is not perfect here. I'm just trying to illustrate a point in the broader perspective here. But it's like if SPS were to go to like 3 cents, for example, right? This would jump up roughly 4x. And all of a sudden I'd be making 35 to 40% return annually if SPS were to be about 3 cents. I mean, SPS goes up even higher, maybe to 6 cents, and all of a sudden we're looking at a 60%, right? Or 60 to 70% kind of return annually. That's kind of crazy to think about. Now, obviously, there's going to be a bunch of other things that change in the game. You can obviously, my win rate is getting lower over time, so maybe I'd have to reinvest in some cards or buy some cards or whatever the case is. But the other areas in which we're not even looking at is in terms of earnings. You could also play survival mode if you have these cards, right? Because the cooldown effect does not impact. You could also play tournaments, brawls, right? So I'm just trying to illustrate to you guys that there's a lot of earning potential here, even with SPS being on the lower side, right? And I know there's like report cards out there and things like that you can use to see exactly how much SPS you earn, but I'm not currently participating in brawls and tournaments, so I didn't want to use that. But I'm just trying to illustrate to you where it's at. Now you can look at this and say, oh, this is good, or this is bad, or it's a lot, or it's a little. I'm just giving you my own personal experience, why I continue to go through with this on a regular basis and just continue to stack SPS. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.